Mona Lisa, what is a citizen of knowing how to confound the legacy? Because in that time, if there is a zeta in relation to the development of the third amount of unknown, we can function the elegatan, because in that time the elegasan ete option is the nintini. So in the manner of time, once we function the LA, we can also position ourselves into the compliance of its own maturity and to understand the oblong. Once we comply with the oblong, we can iti sasa, and in that manner of time we will blockation binana. Because the itishana is that the nankantan and uchini is that dodlo. But in the manner of time, once we work out the core, we will position ourselves into the animal lava and to position our courtesy. But in relation to our legacy, the synthesis will actually perform itself into the acupuncture. The acupuncture is the dedication of the elegation Kashang stamp 5. And in that way, Queen Elizabeth, stamp 5 is the legacy, because the country per town is a nokotnong and to Okshate Ekalakisan. But with this review, the teleport will actually position itself into the compliance of its own maturity and to understand the Doshon. In the maturity to understand the Doshon, we will need to work out the Pinti Kashana Kototon, needle stick, candle, dark wear. And in that way, with the funny face, we need to work out the Malkoshon, because the maturity to understand the Obla, we will conflung into the Shishist. And in that way, once we do that, we will comply with its own maturity to understand the oblum. And the oblum is the legacy in the Kotor Shana. But the Nikati Anana is a Megne, because in the manner of time, once we know how to. Is this IVF? I don't know. Once we know how to vlokshon the Inanana, we would be pini ikishing inane in relation to the Tokotong. Because in that way, the reflection, yes, of the threshold influence is the third amount of data to position our pupil, optimum. And in that way, once we comply with our own maturity, we need to understand the aura and the compliance of his own eating Tassan ECU 33282948 and 33284326 compliance network or no. And in this way, with ECU, the correspondence of the network is to fluxion and its maturity to understand the blikan. So if this scans the IVO 3324 and the IVO 3326, is that the embryo will indicate how our birth will be gada. And in that way, how our birth will be gada, we will position ourselves into its own one, because the love bar, yes, is the nokasi. In the le toshon, anaconda, would you like an event in the forest? Dark forest. How can you find things? Interesting, isn't it? If you can find a piece of shit. Oops, sorry. Just kidding. But anyway, in the complication of the magic monkey, polypsis of the dark crystal based upon Moses, the Iplongo is the Nene, because the reversity of the intuition is the mind controller, as well as overkata. So in this way, if nanana, we can pull up shong the ono, because the reversity of the intuition is that the Gadia will develop into the Sessionan, and in so the Blakasa Doshan Gana. And to the reversity of the intuition of the mind power, the intelligent will be intuition of the spaceship, as well as the EC the tongue, because in that way, once we work out the aura, the signal of the acupuncture will know how to salon. So in that way, once we reverse the stock market, we will indicate into the Wall Street to exchange the foreign sea. Because Queen Elizabeth, to exchange the foreign sea, it is the traditional of our Balakata Tissasis. And in so, when we rework Anonono, we will position ourselves into its own compliance, because the position with data into its maturity and to understand the obla. Hmm? 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 Mommy loves you. Hmm? See, gay husband, if you need to it, you are my soulmate. I love dog style, but it's just a fuck buddy. Kidding. Anyway, the intercussion of Anilala, we will position ourselves into the compliance of his own maturity. The relationship for the Guardian is the traditional of knowing how to so long the manuscript, because in that way, Atlas, the manuscript is the Nakasan of the Lekasa, because in that manner of time, once we know the Ongshong, Bisha Gala, we will position ourselves into Nanongnon, because in that manner of time, once we know how to aura, the instrument of the deflection, we will position ourselves into the compliance of his own Incan tone sisters by the solar system. The solar system will location into its orbit and oculunum, and to Balakasai, the Lekasa. But the army man, based upon your life, the Balakasis is the Nakasan, because in that way, his own way is to confound the Eklanam. The manner of Lokoshong is the legacy in relation to, and in relation to, based upon Ross House. What is the religion hierarchy? I forgot who he was, sorry. So in that way, the confunction of the ordering system is to position ourselves into the compliance, because to position ourselves into the compliance, we will mature its own self-station by the Blockation, because the solar system will be measured by my arm. Approx. So in a manner of time, once we purchase the legacy in relation to the Dokangshan, we will proportion that time, like so, for Tablet. Tablet is the Koshonon of crown. So crown, based upon what game is the other one with the dice. So in that way, we will come for into Likakan, because the successor set of law, it is the plaintiff of the segment down and in the metagenesis of the Nogashon, the galaxy will actually be Maganon. Oh, my eye autofocus. Next time. So in that way, with your, Brendan, we can, based upon our timer of the Ixin, we will say that. But in that way, the non-controller will work into the Commonwealth Bank as well as the exorcist. But the exorcist, no, not BA. Ned Kelly, what is the bank system of the ascendancy in relation to the withdrawal and also to and from the politics in relation to the Winnegam of Intong by Il? Like that, and we were Shanagasanan, the warrior. So in that way, with the warrior, the Makasa Lakonida is that the Ekasan of the system solar is the Marchand of Shell. In this way, the Shonkasan of the law will inform the guardian in relation to the fifth So, based upon our solar system, if it's gas, how to equate the O2 and the Huckerson of law. But based upon our subdivider, the ignition of the law is the Neckerson of the legal tradition. Voter number 5. So, police army. Why army Polon? W. Namo Ayi. So in that way, we will function into double successes and also Gate to confront the programmer. And in relation to the programmer, the circulation of Tintin, Tassa data, it is the execution of the acupuncture. But I wanted to commit suicide when I was young, when my brother called, because I said, I'm an alien. That's when I was really young. That's after I saw the... Oh, yes. Cảm ơn má cho con cái ông Phật. So anyway, the mechanism of the lacala is the circumstance of the lawyer and also to politics the intersection of the bar fest. The bar fest is based upon our culture of what we eat by salad, dessert, and interpretation of our own farm. FAM. Why? Emily Rose. Oh. So in that way, the productor of our food is the requisite of our survivor, to and from the relationship of law. So in that way, when we conflict the election, we will position ourselves into the question of layer 2, 3, 2, 1, and layer 2, 2, 2, 3, 2, 1, and layer 2, 3, 2, 4, 14, 2, 1, and layer 2, 2, 4, 3, 2, 1, 14, and layer 2, 2, 4, 1, 1, 1, 2, 8, Sonic, layer 2, 2, 1, 8, 2, 2, 1, 4, 2, 2, 3, 8, 2, 2, 1, 8, 2, 2, 4, 4, layer 3, 3, 2, 1, 3, 3, 2, 4, compliance correspondence network subcoordinate DDFG15 and DDFG362148, compliance network maturity, understand the compilation of the funnel, because in that way, based upon Google, once it indexed by the spider, we can also have freedom. So in that way, based upon the transmission of freedom, is that the non-question of the owner is that the identification of non, because in that way, if there is a guardia in relation to our fellow, we will position ourselves into the compliance of his own network and to position ourselves into the non-non, because the compliance of the network will sequel into the application form to know how to precisely the genre, because in this way we can find. Next time you get a laser in relation to scanning, then we will identify where everything is. So when we do that, we will mature the age of the correspondence to network into the non aura. So in that time, when we identify Wawa, we will position ourselves into the conjunction of narcissus, and in that way, we will know how to belong. See? And in that way, we will also know the Minana. So in that way, we will function the aura of the Ga and to position our Toshon, dog feet. N2 LA 3 2 4 6 2 5 4 1 2 1 4 8 2 4 2 6 2 5 2 9 2 1 4 12 2 6 4 1 con. The position of the datal is a kakasnan in relation to our kashana, because the development of knowing how to long we will position into the non fake out and the confunction of non. In this way, the elekate ashana kototon, the lakata toshonung talaka, the lichitna toshono kanakun, the lichana kanana kotosho, Dalakata Shindakacha Katashon Bala. Dishin Kana. Skin face, sarcasm, ditro. Because in that way, when you know how to come from the maturity to understand the network, we can open into the next orbit. So in this way, when we orbit into the satellite, we will conference into the maturity to know the beacon as well as the correspondence for its own mechanism. The position of this we will conflong into the network of the aura. Each human, based upon our facelift, the location of our law is that we can identify that the legacy of law, it is the cushioning of our law. So based upon the optometrism, the laser lana is that to constitution of our law. So blind people, here's a quick story. When you become the next human, you probably need glasses to read. So it doesn't really matter. Yes, I'm purebred. One day I'm gonna die. Maybe I'll become a dog, horse, whatever. No, not inchcock. Yes. Oh, love it. Anyway, the confinement, the confinement of the Shokshanong we will position into the Nakashan of the aura, but the aura based upon the imperial empire. We can pin case the Chittanon of Korea, and in that time when we pin case Korea, it is the Malmlankashan of Nor to focus, Balakashan. So in that way, when we are too focused into the Nakanon, we will pihi the Nakana in relation to Ane. So in that time, when it's too focused, we can also position into the eSATA of the EC3 1068248 and the ECP 1628431 and the ECP 162842125 and the ECP 162411825 and the ECP 1648443 and the ECP 162948442 and the ECP 161511415 and the ECP 163421 and the ECP 1511. Unity Sempleton centimeters. So the Incan system in relation to our prefix, the Shokshanong of knowing the law, is that the focus oro with the conjunction takanana, because in that way we will position ourselves into the compliance of aura and the confinement of life. The position of a timer is own totong, and in this way, if it is our own tongtong, we will position our orgashan by the acupuncture and also to position ourselves for our health and well-being in relation to Yoda. There you go. Tomananga, Tola, history. See? So in that time, once we know the configuration, we also need to work out the inches of arm based upon our liberation and to conquer the American. Because in that way, all the country in America is floor. Big, really big. So in that way, the fluctuation of our own president, whatever you call him in the other country, I don't know, the country town will work out the balance. Do not trespass the kingdom. Thank you.